I am now creating weekly exclusive content for Patreon, so if you are interested in that, go check out the link down below. And of course, if you want to avoid the random lottery of FIFA points, you want to go straight to the source, buy the players directly, use u7buy.com and use the code TVM at checkout. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to a, well, I would say different type of video, but this is what we do pretty much every year at this point when the transfers start sort of trickling in. We've got, I think, 6 or 7 confirmed transfers, like they are done deals guaranteed. Then we've got 3 or 4 that are very high probability. Then we start to go down the probability into just plain rumour. And then, of course, there is a returning player at the end of the video, as well as a lot of players out of contract. I mean, there are some really big names. So out of contract by the end of the season, they are going to be without a club unless someone comes in for them. And some of these are huge, huge players. But with that being said, I am going to go through them. Bear in mind the ratings are not official. As you can see in the top left, they are predictions. And we're going to go and start off with Morgan Schneiderlin. I've gone from a 77 down to a 76. He hasn't really set the world alight at Everton this season, playing a 6.73 average, which anything below a 7, I think, is sort of average, if you will. I think 7 and above is a good, especially when you've played a lot of games, is good, right? Trincao from Braga to Barcelona for 31 million. It's a lot of money to spend, but of course, youngster playing unbelievably well for Braga. I've boosted him to a 75. To be fair, I've been a little bit harsh, and I think he could go higher because he has done very, very well, but EA don't look upon leagues outside of the top 5 favourably, so take it with a pinch of salt. Hadji moving from Genk, of course, only played a 6.78, but that's in the Champions League for Genk against some massive teams, right? So again, we can't read too much into it. He's done well at Rangers. They've done unbelievably well to sign him for 3.1 million. There are some crazy transfers going on right now for some huge money, and they've snagged a real good player there. Kamara moving from Reims to Nice. Nice doing a lot of work in the transfer window so far. Technically speaking, it doesn't open until the 1st of July, but they've already started by signing 2 or 3 players, and it's not done there because they have more on the cards as well. But he's, of course, in FIFA terms, got himself a team of the season this year, so I've bumped him up as much as I possibly could, really. Morata, this one is just mind-boggling, really. I don't get it at all. Not that going from Chelsea to Atletico is confusing. I get that. That's fine, right? But for 50 million, what do Atletico see in Morata that nobody else in the world sees? 50 million is ridiculous. You could have bought so many players for that. Ziyech, Ajax to Chelsea, done deal, of course. And this is one of those cards that could be 87, 88 rated. He could be still 85 and he could go to an 86. I don't really know, but I've just looked at it from an EA point of view, right? They, like I said before, don't really favour the leagues outside of the top 5. If you just look at the Summer Heat promo, for example, how many cards outside of the top 5 leagues have Summer Heat cards? Get back to me on that one. But I've gone for a nice little upgrade from an 85 to an 86. Central as well, even though he could potentially play right side. Timo Werner is another one of those, of course, moving from a club to Chelsea. In this case, it's Leipzig. Bought out for 47.7 million. Nothing Leipzig could do about it. They hit the release clause, which is unreal for a player of that quality to have such a low amount in terms of a release clause. Like I was saying earlier, Morata for 50 million, and Atletico could have gone and bought Werner. Whether he would have gone there or not is another question. But you know what I mean? They would have had change left over, which is just crazy. Of course, he's done so well in the last few seasons. He's come on leaps and bounds, and he has an abundance of cards in FIFA as well. So I would imagine he'll do really well for Chelsea and may even help them turn them into contenders. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Speaking of Chelsea, though, Pedro could be going out. And in fact, it does look very probable that he is. Now, the percentages of probability are taken from transfermarket.co.uk. They are a very reliable source, no sponsor, although I am open to offers. So 82 rated, I've stuck with it. You know, he hasn't really had a tremendous amount of football, but when he has played, he hasn't played bad. Above a 7 match rating, which is quite good. And of course, this is a 98% probability. 93% then is Hakimi. Now, this isn't confusing, it's just long-winded, right? So Hakimi is under contract at Real Madrid. He's on loan at Dortmund. He could be going to Inter. So three-club triangle thing. Dortmund don't look like they want to take him on, which is a bit confusing, really, because he's done really well for them. Maybe they've got someone else in mind, I'm not sure. But either way, I think Inter, again, are a very good player there if they can get it over the line. Sane to Bayern has been a story since, well, last year and beyond, really. But this year, it could potentially happen. He's obviously through the back end of that injury that he suffered, which basically took him out for the entire season. The only reason I've downgraded him is because EA won't even... honestly, I don't even think EA know he's injured, right? Because what EA will do is just go, oh, he hasn't played this season, bump him down to an 85 and take one of his pace away. So taking him down to an 85, but just, put a little asterisk next to it. Vertonghen is another one of those players getting downgraded, not because he deserves to be downgraded, but because of his age. Apparently, 33 years of age is when you get take out to the barn and shot, and they remove your legs as well. I hope that doesn't happen, because guess how old I am in a week. But either way, to Roma, potentially. That's a 60% probability according to Transfer Market, but have to wait and see on that one. Jack Grealish could potentially be going to Manchester United. I've heard this sort of murmuring around the place for quite a while. And of course, as the season draws to a close, with Villa not looking too clever, this could happen, because I can't imagine Jack Grealish is going to want to go down back into the Championship with Aston Villa. If he does, fair play to him. That's loyalty at its best. But I just can't see it happening. I think a club's going to come into him. He's much better than the Championship. Let's be honest. He's got a lot of quality, and he's essentially dragging Aston Villa right now. So if they stay up, I'm not saying they'll only be able to thank Jack Grealish for it, but he'll have a massive part to play there. Slight upgrade as well from an 82 to an 84. We'll revisit that in a second. Arthur, pending a medical, is on his way to Juventus. 72.5 million. That is a unreal amount of money to pay for an 84 rated card. I'm joking, of course. No, he's actually done really well for Barca. He hasn't been given much of a chance, but if you look at his stats, they are very impressive. His ball retention is ridiculous. And going the other way, but not in a connected deal, to the best of my knowledge, is going to be Pjanic. This isn't guaranteed to happen, Pjanic to Barca. It's in advanced talks, and it does look likely. And I've kept sort of the pending medical 72.5 because it's almost like a combined transfer, but it's not. It's not a swap deal, even though it's being labelled as one. That's the best of my knowledge. I've looked as much as I can, but it looks like Arthur is basically a done deal, but Pjanic might not be, but it doesn't depend on one or the other. Koulibaly to Manchester City is literally just a potential transfer. There's no percentage probability here. It is something that has been rumoured. It's a strong rumour coming from credible sources, but there's been no contact yet as of my knowledge. So I've kept him the same rating for FIFA 21 interest. No reason for it, really. I just think if he gets the move, like they do actually sign him and it's big money, he might go to a 90. Sancho, 87 rated. Is that fair? Could he go higher? I'm not sure. But to Manchester United is the transfer rumour. Now, this has been sort of, again, murmuring around for a long time. And I think what happens here, or rather what happens here is going to depend on the Jack Grealish deal as well, right? So if Manchester United fail in whichever way it is to sign Sancho, whether it be Sancho not wanting to go there, Manchester United not willing to pay the money, I think then Grealish goes to Man United. I don't think they sign both of them, because they play essentially in the same position. They can play different, but you know what I mean. Now, here is a list of players who are nearing the end of their contract. Willian, still got plenty of legs left in him. Cavani is a goal scorer. Ryan Fraser, of course, leaving Bournemouth. He's still quite young. Malang Sarr, who, of course, has an SBC in FIFA right now, for those who are looking from the FIFA point of view. He is only 21, still a very good player, of course, and is out of contract at Nice, and they don't even look like they're going to renew it. Well, this, of course, was recorded maybe a long time before you, or in terms of transfers, a long time before you were watching it, so there is a potential that some of these deals have been sewn up by now. But Mario Götze as well looks like he's leaving Dortmund. Where will he end up? Jose Callahan as well. Just, yeah, there's quite a lot. There are quite a lot. Now, finally, Arjen Robben has come out of retirement to join his boyhood club, Groningen, and he is going to try and help them out. Now, that means he's coming back to FIFA. I don't think he'll be in FIFA 20, although there is every possibility that EA will reintroduce him, and I really hope they do, like they've done with Frank Ribery. But EA tend to do like scheduled style things, right? So when it comes to like January upgrades, that's when they tend to release a batch of players. We may get a batch in July, but we'll have to wait and see. But I am really looking forward to it. I hope they don't butcher the card as much as I have done. But, you know, he's very old now in terms of football and FIFA, and he lost a lot of pace anyway. But if he does come back, of course, we can look forward to like an end of an era flashback and all those nonsense style things. But that's going to do it for the first episode of the transfer thing. I'm going to do it more often when transfers come through. I'm not just going to do pure rumours, though. I will do probability, and then maybe chuck one or two players like Sancho and Koulibaly in there. But let me know what you think. And if I've missed anybody out, feel free to let me know in the comment section down below. If you have enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for new, and until the next time, goodbye.
Football Index. The game changed. Download the app now.